Your coworkers are not your friends. Welcome back. I'm Kendall Berg, that career coach, and I'm here to help you progress your career and move up the ladder without burning out or losing your mind. Today, we are chatting about why your coworkers are ultimately not your friends and how to be careful in the workplace. Now, quick caveat before I jump in. Obviously, having good relationships with the people that you work with is the number one indicator of job satisfaction and happiness. So, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get along with people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to coffee with people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have relationships with people. There is a very fine line between your coworkers and slipping into something that can ultimately get you in trouble in the workplace. Forbes recently released an article talking about this where they say that balancing relationships with coworkers is sometimes like navigating through a minefield. You want to like your colleagues and cultivate close relationships, but there's an underlying sense of competition. Where this becomes particularly dangerous in your career is when you are speaking negatively about other people or other things at work. There was definitely a time in my career where there was an individual I worked with. I thought we were good friends. We went to lunch together. We chatted often and would complain about a lot of the same things. What I came to find out is that this individual was really, really close with our boss. And conversations between the two of us where we were equally complaining about things our boss were doing were being repeated to our boss with just my side of what was happening. And it was a very big learning lesson for me because we want to get along with people we work with. We want to feel like we can trust them. And what ultimately happens is some people are just frankly not trustworthy. So when you start to get too close in your relationships, when you're sharing complaints about coworkers, complaints about your boss, difficulty with getting things done or your work, there's always a chance that that individual is going to use that against you. And we don't want that. Now, the second issue that we see when it comes to having relationships with individuals at work is that outside of work, tend to be more comfortable, especially if there's like a few beverages involved. And that can very easily be a slippery slope into getting in trouble at work as well. And I have seen it happen multiple times. Some of the things Forbes calls out in their article is you could be accused of favoritism in the workplace and subject to gossip if you're too close to your boss. By joking around too much, you can create distractions that impact productivity, again, getting you in trouble. Friendships get murky when you're going for the same promotion or the same raise. I've also seen situations where peers are competing for the same position and one peer gets the promotion and now the friend is reporting to them, and that creates really difficult dynamics. Developing deep friendships can potentially expose personal information, secrets, or indiscretions that can cause issues at work or give them leverage over you. Getting too comfortable with a coworker can lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations of jokes that you share in the workplace. Or once a workplace friendship becomes strained, it can ruin the entire work environment. All of these things are true. Where I want to caveat this is this doesn't mean that you can't get along with the people you work with. It doesn't mean that you can't tell silly stories from over the weekend. It doesn't mean that you can't text them or talk to them at happy hours. All of those things are good for creating a good working environment, but it can get dicey. So just be careful with how much of ourselves we are sharing at the workplace. Especially don't gossip. Just don't gossip ever. You have friends outside of work too, right? Gossip with them about your coworkers. If you work with somebody and then you leave to another company, then gossip all you want with your former coworker. Just do not gossip about the people that you work with people you actively work with. I'm telling you now, it's going to become an issue. I've also had many clients come to me where their relationship with their boss is a little friendlier than what should be considered normal. And it causes other issues because they feel uncomfortable advocating for themselves. Their boss tells them too much information and then they don't know what to do with it. Their boss discusses other employees with them, and that's not good as the boss or the individuals. So just being careful that you're maintaining healthy boundaries with the people that you work with. Again, doesn't mean you can't get along with them. You can't go to lunch. You can't be friends-ish, but we don't want to be putting ourselves in a position where something can negatively impact your career. All right. Have a good, healthy working environment. Don't gossip with your coworkers.